5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Roll it, track it, mix.
Coming up tonight on UTVS News, a look into how the Minneapolis community has changed.
Stand by camera 4.
But first, an update.
Stand by camera 4.
Team members and how the vaccine is being distributed.
And
Make
then
sure we're on live. There we go.
a controversial new bill about sexual health education for students is announced in Minnesota.
UTVS News starts right now.
Stand by to 4, 3, 2, 1. Start your move. Going to 2 box in 3, 2, 1. Bring them up. Talk.
Welcome to UTVS News.
3,
I'm Nia Adams.
2, 1. Drop them. Ready, Kirby, and take Kirby. Ready, VO to player 2.
Yep.
Ready, roll it. Take it.
Minnesota has prioritized residents over the age of 65.
Stand by, Naya.
Wall says over 43% of Minnesota seniors have already been vaccinated. In April, the state will open
Thank you.
eligibility
Also be aware, it's not
for underlying
2013
health risks
anymore.
and some essential workers depending on risk factors. The goal is to open the vaccine to the general public by June, and Wall says that the timeline could shift as more vaccines become available. Minnesota has administered over 1.2 million doses so far. The expansion, according to the Minnesota health officials, is due to the rapid drop in new causes and deaths caused by citizens receiving the vaccine.
And take Naya.
Taking a look
Ready,
at
CG1.
COVID-19 update from the
CG2.
state. The Minnesota Department of Health
Why
reported
won't my
just
CG
under
load?
1,000
That's fine.
positive cases of
And full page.
COVID-19 and just 7 deaths. After
That was late,
announcing
but whatever.
additional details for the next phase of COVID-19 vaccination.
Ready, Kirby with the
The
VO.
NIH also reported just above 780,000 people have completed 1 dose of a vaccine. Meanwhile, nearly 390,000 people have completed both doses of the vaccine.
And take Kirby.
Healthcare provider.
Ready, VO to player 1.
One medical and high-end healthcare clinic serving wealthy clients allowed ineligible patients to skip.
And roll it, take it.
Many of them
Stand by Naya with the OTS.
said that some of those skipping the vaccine lines had connection to the company's use. This problem
Come on.
occurred in multiple company locations,
There we go.
which is not clear how many ineligible patients were vaccinated.
And take Naya.
The U.S. is getting ready to introduce the Johnson & Johnson coronavirus vaccine. This will be the third along
Stand by
with
Kirby with the reader.
That OTS
and
looks
Pfizer
beautiful.
BioNTech vaccines.
Yes, it
The
does.
vaccine will be a 1-dose, unlike the counterpart vaccines. There are 4 million vaccines on hand and will be sent out immediately once they are approved.
And take Kirby.
Prime Minister of Israel,
Ready,
Benjamin
Sot, coming out of player 2.
Came up with the plan for shipping extra COVID vaccines to allied countries. He had been accused of not being transparent about his plan. Because of this, the Israel Defense Minister had called for a stop to this plan. The claims there had been no discussion of his plan and that the spare vaccine should be shared with Palestinians in areas occupied by Israel.
And effect. Roll it. Track it. There we go.
Our expert expert
It's weather cam, yeah.
has already recommended for such trusted
Stand by clip store.
to take place. I know some of it has already happened and more is planned, and I do hope and pray that we'll see much more of that in the coming future. It is the right thing to do. It is the right thing epidemiologically. It's the right thing morally, and I think in terms of public health, diseases know no borders, and therefore we shouldn't as well.
Coming up tonight on UTVS News. Positive news for Health Partners workers as the union avoids a possible strike.
And then, get the latest updates on the coronavirus.
But first, a fire at a recycling plant in Becker continues to burn after 24 hours.
UTVS News starts right now.
Good evening and welcome to UTVS News. I'm Alex Cotter.
And I'm Untrin. Thank you for joining us.
We start tonight with continuing coverage of the fire that has been burning for more than 24 hours in Becker, Minnesota.
The fire started around 2:30 a.m. Tuesday morning at the Northern Metals recycling plant.
Firefighters have been working around the clock battling the fire, including the 55th Civil Support Unit from the Minnesota National Guard.
The biggest concern is air quality for the residents of Becker. Becker Police and the Minnesota Department of Health have been monitoring the air quality, but say that so far there is no concern.
CBS has more information on the Becker fire.
The smoke is thick and the flames at times unrelenting.
Yeah, it was pretty crazy to see because, there's just smoke going everywhere.
Crushed cars stacked for recycling on Northern Metals property in Becker continued to burn. Fire crews from surrounding departments stepped in to help, attacking the fire from all sides.
What they're going to be doing is continuing to pick apart the pile of debris there to get to the root of the fire. And unfortunately what's happening is it keeps flaring up when they do that.
The dropping temperature is only compounding the problem.
Rotating the firefighters, it's cold out, you got water that's freezing. Access to water is also an issue.
And the billowing smoke from the fire put nearby schools on alert.
One of the questions is, do we evacuate? Do we close school? What type of things do we do?
Becker Public Schools kept kids inside at recess and restricted air intake from outside as a precaution.
Safety is utmost concern.
Becker's Police Chief Brent.
The police chief updated City Council Tuesday night.
It looks like it's going to probably go for some time.
Sharing communities south of Becker are also feeling the impact of the smoke and stench.
Let's be honest, it's a big car fire. So the concern for particulates and stuff like that is the same concern you'd have for just about any other fire.
They advise people in the path to restrict time outside and those with respiratory issues to stay inside or in a well-ventilated area.
A new proposal for a provisional balloting system is now tied at the Senate. The bill requires voters who are registering on Election Day to be designated as provisional ballots until they are verified. Earlier this week, the committee approved the bill with a 6-3 vote. Democrats dispute the bill, claiming that fraud is a problem in Minnesota, while adding that the proposal could suppress voter turnout.
Violence broke out at a state-run mental health building in West St. Paul on Monday morning. Police responded to reports of a disturbance around 4 a.m. when officers arrived. The victim was stabbed in the face and was later pronounced dead. A 38-year-old resident has been arrested under suspicion of second-degree murder. The case is still under investigation.
Last Friday, a barn in northwest Iowa suffered a structural failure early in the morning, resulting in the fatality of a worker. Worthington, Minnesota native Humberto Jesus Lopez has been identified as the victim. Lopez was working inside the Remembrance Foods facility when the building collapsed. Authorities suspended the search last Friday due to safety concerns, but resumed on Saturday, where his body was found at around 2 p.m.
Health Partners employees can now breathe easy after the union came to a tentative labor agreement Tuesday night. The agreement was made after 17 hours of negotiations and avoids a strike that could have started later this week. The tentative agreement for the 1,800 union workers includes wage increases of the 7.5% over the next 3 years, alongside protections of health care benefits and protection of overtime pay. Voting on the agreement begins next week.
Coming up next, find out how you can support the local theater community in St. Cloud this weekend.
And then see this week's furry animal up for adoption at the Tri-County Humane Society.
Don't go anywhere.
We start tonight with breaking news out of Buffalo, Minnesota. The man who shot at an Allina Health clinic on Tuesday has now formally received charges. With more, we bring in UTVS News reporter Stephen Schroeder with the latest. Stephen, what can you tell us?
That's right, guys. This morning, the Wright County Sheriff's Office formally pressed charges against 67-year-old Gregory Ulrich in his role in the Buffalo shooting that happened right behind me at the Salina Hospital. He is officially charged with 1 count of second-degree murder, 4 counts of attempted first-degree premeditated murder, 1 count of discharging an explosive device, and 1 count of carrying a pistol without a permit. His bail is currently set at $10 million or $5 million with certain conditions, such as using a GPS monitor.
Additional details are coming out as the investigation is ongoing. Details released at a press event at 11:30 this morning. Officials state Ulrich rode public transportation to the Buffalo clinic with a loaded handgun and 4 improvised explosives. 3 of those explosives detonated and 1 did not. 2 of those were located in the lobby of the clinic, while the other was located in an adjacent hallway. Officials state Ulrich acted alone and called 911 on himself. Ulrich went on to shoot 5 people, leaving 4 injured and 1 dead. Officials state Ulrich has had an off-and-on relationship with law enforcement that spanned nearly 2 decades. Ulrich, a Buffalo resident, has made it well known that he was not happy with the care he received at Allina Health. His neighbor states he had a sign on his yard stating, quote, "Alina Crux." Later in November 2018, Ulrich was ordered to cease all contact with a doctor at Alina Health and was told to have no use or possession of firearms and permits. During a previous encounter, one doctor at a nearby clinic had to press the panic button for help. Alina Health confirmed on Wednesday that Lindsay Overbay was the victim that died from the shooting. Overbay was a medical assistant who worked for Alina Health since November 2018. All 5 victims were colleagues during the attack, including Sherry Curtis, a licensed practical nurse who worked at Alina Health since 2013. Alina is not releasing the names of the other victims out of privacy for their families.
Minnesota Governor Tim Walz has announced that all flags in Minnesota will be flying at half-staff until sunset on Sunday to honor the victims of this tragic shooting. Ulrich is currently being held at the Wright County Jail. His next court appearance is being set for March 22nd. Reporting in Buffalo, Minnesota, Stephen Schroeder, UTVS News.
If you have any more information, please call the Wright County Sheriff's Hotline at 763-682-7733. Stay tuned to UTVS News as we continue covering the tragic Alina Health shooting.
On behalf of all Minnesotans, we offer our deepest sympathies to the families of these warriors. They paid the ultimate price in service to Minnesota and to the United States of America.
3 Minnesota National Family Guard members are left devastated after a routine maintenance test flight turned fatal at around 2 p.m. Thursday.
Today, 3 soldiers from the Minnesota National Guard were killed when a UH-60 Black Hawk helicopter from the Minnesota National Guard's Army Aviation Support Facility went down southwest of St. Cloud, Minnesota.
The helicopter left the St. Cloud Aviation Facility at around 2:05 p.m. Minutes after, a Mayday call was sent out alerting the Minnesota Aviation Rescue Team. With assistance from the Minnesota State Patrol helicopter and St. Paul firefighters, the Black Hawk helicopter was found 90 minutes after the Mayday call in the trees on a farm in Kimball, Minnesota, just 60 miles southwest of St. Cloud. While the cause of the crash is still unknown, the focus right now is on the families who lost 3 loved ones just before the Christmas season.
On behalf of all Minnesotans, we offer our deepest sympathies to the families of these warriors. They paid the ultimate price in service to Minnesota and to the United States of America. Words will never ease the pain of this tragic loss, and the state of Minnesota is forever in the debt of these warriors.
Investigators from the Army Safety Center out of Fort Rucker, Alabama are expected to arrive today and will be here for multiple days trying to figure out how exactly this fatal accident occurred. Stay tuned to UTVS News as we will update you as the story progresses. Reporting in Kimball, Minnesota, Stephen Schroeder, UTVS News. That is SCSU's President Robin Wacker on yesterday's announcement on the end of some Husky athletic programs. SCSU has decided to cut 3 sports, including football, men's and women's golf. The Minnesota State Fair can be a place to contract smiles and laughter, but this year it may have been a place to contract another illness. Fears are relieved and a local family can breathe easy after a young boy was found safe after going missing yesterday afternoon. Authorities say 6-year-old Ethan was last seen getting off a school bus yesterday. Unconfirmed reports say they saw the helicopter go down around the Pearl Lake area south of St. Augusta. The status of the 3 guardsmen on board the aircraft is still unknown. This is a developing story, so stay tuned to UTVS News and our social media for the latest updates. Today on the campus of St. Cloud State University was the annual De-Stress with Dogs event. About a dozen therapy dogs were brought in to the Atwood Theater for students to hang out and relax with. This has been a tradition on campus that comes around for finals week every semester when students are facing some of the most stress. Police have a suspect in custody after a shooting in a Walmart parking lot in Blaine. The incident happened Monday morning and police say the man was shot in the ear. Detectives picked up a suspect in Wisconsin Hospital where he was arrested. The investigation is ongoing. Bobby Pointer joins us in the studio with weather. Bobby, it was like 80 degrees 2 days ago and now it's freezing. What's up with that?
Yeah, what happened?
Our top story, federal investigators have found the reason behind a deadly 2017 explosion at a Minneapolis school. It was due to a pipe crew member who lacked proper training and was not authorized to move a gas meter. Gina Fox from the Tri-County Humane Society joined us once again for a weekly pet segment. Take a look at this week's adorable kitten up for adoption.